A major question this offseason for the Minnesota Vikings is what the heck was going to happen with star running back Dalvin Cook. 4 straight Pro Bowls, 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons, but large contract, going to be 28 years old as well, and coming off a shoulder surgery. What are they going to do at number 4? Right? So were they going to trade him to Miami? Were they going to cut him? What is going to happen? And with June 1st rapidly approaching, probably going to get some resolution here pretty soon. But of course, all of these social media jabs coming through, Dalvin covering up the logo, the Vikings not including Dalvin on the Twitter header as well as schedule release, all that stuff. But could they hug it out and work things out? It's possible. So this is from Bring Me the News. With the crucial date of June 1st approaching for the Vikings' decision on Dalvin Cook, is there a chance the running back could stay in Minnesota after all? It's not out of the realms of possibility, according to KSTP's Darren Wolfson, who's on Score North this week. Although he still believes that it's more likely that Cook will leave the Vikings. Wolfson said he spoke to somebody in the know, somebody I trust enough, who suggested checking on the possibility that Cook is having a change of hat, taking a pay cut to stay with the Vikings. So that's super interesting, especially since Doogie, who's extremely dialed in on everything Minnesota sports, reported back in February that Dalvin had no interest in taking a pay cut. But of course, you can say that at the time when it's early in the process, but now, after free agency, after the draft, and teams have spent up their capital, you kind of get a larger picture of what's going on and also the valuation of the running back position. And Dalvin is due a $10.4 million base salary this year, $2 million of it guaranteed. I think it could be a spot where him and his agent are realizing, hey, as this goes along, and not being in camp with a new team if you have to learn a new system, and the team's probably not willing to take on that contract full freight, as well as if the Vikings do cut him, they probably wouldn't even reach a portion of the potential reduced contract in free agency. Would it make better fiscal sense and a business decision to stay put, be part of this high-powered offense? It's possible. And we said this entire time that I think that 10.4 is a little bit too much. But I think that if the Vikings could work out a deal, and the Vikings have been very adamant about wanting to do right by Dalvin Cook, whatever that nebulous term means. But I think that taking down his base salary down to like 6, and then having 2, 3, 4 million in incentives, where if Dalvin is healthy, if he's productive, he can recoup most of that money. And the Vikings, I'm sure, would certainly be happy to pay it if he is still in at the peak of his performance. Yes, I think that's something that could be worked out. I think that's so. We said a couple weeks ago that it was like 10% that Dalvin could return. I think it's up towards 30. I think that he still could be traded after June 1st for a late round pick in 2024. I think it's still possible that he could be cut because the $2 million guarantee does have offsets. But I also think that something could be worked out, and Dalvin could be not leaving, etc. And then you look at, because in Dalvin's spot, so if the Vikings, if they pare down his contract but toss in some incentives, which would pay him more than anywhere else that he would likely land, as well as potentially being a part of this offense, it would make sense. I mean, Dalvin did do well in this offense last year, especially as more of a receiver. And Dalvin, Madison, Kincaid, Ty Chandler, Dwayne McBride would be the best running back room in the league. Although, if Dalvin returned, I think the Vikings may trade Kincaid, especially with some of the new kick return rules coming in. But that's beside the point. But I think that cooler heads possibly could prevail. And I do think that this could ultimately be a business decision for Dalvin. Or if you take the emotions out of it, you take all of the social media jabs and barbs and all that stuff, is like, hey, I can succeed here in this offense, which is a great fit for me. I can get my money right, and it's going to be more than it would be if I went to the Dolphins or the Bucks or wherever, and then go from there. Man. But your thoughts are thoughts. Reportedly, Dalvin Cook is considering taking a pay cut and remaining with the Vikings. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Most support the work. Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.